Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so very much for tuning in. This is I'll Call You Back, True Blue Unedited with President Sir
Izzy Martinez
and Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio, CLR 154 on your Sirius XM dial. If you're listening to us, we're going to invite you to download our free app. It is ENTV USA, where you're going to have access to all of our exclusive content, not just on Cachita Latina Radio, but also for ENTV USA, including our concerts, our Unplugged concert series, and you also get special access to our official sponsors, starting with Aaron's Pigeons, with a fascinating show every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on Cachita Latina Radio, CLR 154 on your Sirius XM dial, and 305 Fights, that they have just an amazing platform. They have a great event coming up March 27th that we're super excited about, and we're super excited about having Elio here to tell us all about it.
Where is Elio?
Elio,
he told me that he was going to go. He was going to be on the show sometime this week. And we really haven't seen him.
He's preparing his thing, and we are here, courtesy each and every night of Café Cachita, el mejor para compartir, and we have a very, very special guest this evening.
Yes, we do.
We are here with Mr. Alvin Stone. I'm so excited to have him here. Let me tell you, I've been following Alvin for quite a while now on social media, and we finally got to meet the other day. I'm going to present them in just a couple of minutes. We want to take 1 second. We have to make two little announcements. Number one, Miss Nida Cortez, te queremos mucho, te extrañamos, and we're sending you big hugs and all, lots of prayers for you and your family.
Mismo es. Te queremos, te abrazamos, te mandamos un beso y que sigas el progreso, que ya me contaron que estás un poco más.
Amen. That is amazing, amazing. And we also want to give a very special shout out to the Patterson family, the family of this beautiful little girl, Everly Jane.
That's right.
Whose story went viral right on this show a couple of days ago. Beautiful little girl that was born December 22nd, suffered some brain injury due to lack of oxygen. But thank God, everyone's pulling together and supporting this family through their GoFundMe and their Facebook fundraiser. And she's starting to respond to treatment, so this is an amazing thing. Please, guys, if you want and find it in your hearts to help out this this beautiful family, make sure you log on to our page, Izzy Cachita, or Izzy and Cachita, our fan page, where you're going to find the GoFundMe information, the Facebook donation page, and you are more than welcome to please also share the story and get it out to as many people as possible.
I already feel like the Pattersons are part of our family.
Yes.
It's like the Patterson Martinez Lopez. So if you guys didn't want to have some Spanish last names, now you do.
Let me tell you, you're kind of screwed. They're kind of screwed now.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yeah. I am part of the Patterson Martinez Lopez Martinez, however you want to call it. ¿Qué te parece?
I love it.
We also have here with us a good friend of Magali, el bombón de la radio. ¿No ve? Y tenemos también a Raúl, un buen amigo de ella.
Un caballero aquí lindo y hermoso que ha venido a acompañarnos esta noche.
Raúl, nos debes un almuerzo, ¿viste? Pero mira, Raúl hace tiempo, no sé qué tiempo hace atrás, que era paparazzi, tiraba fotos, es camarógrafo, una persona con mucho talento.
That's awesome. Así que muchísimas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros hoy.
Talento que le falta tanto a muchos en estos días, especialmente cantantes y artistas, que aquí todo el mundo canta, todo el mundo es artista.
Sí, pero no me mires con esa cara.
No, tú sí eres,
si no te subo para el paquete de café, que tú sabes cómo se pone esto.
Ahí sí tengo que decirte que olvídate de eso. Lo tuyo no es el bombón con tintín ese que cantan aquí en la cabeza.
Pim, pam, pim, pim, pum, pum, right?
Eso mismo, olvídate de eso. Okay. Anyways, we're here with Al. He is videotaping the whole thing. He's having a great time, and we are so glad to have you here, brother. I know actually Al. I said close to a year. I saw him at one of the cigar shops that I go to. He performed there, and I was like, damn, this guy can sing, so on and so forth. But I didn't. I just thought, oh well, he just sings. He's a performer. He's a great performer, and that was it. But then we found out more about Al, and that's how he ended up here on the show.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Alvin Stone to I'll Call You Back, True Blue Unedited. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so very much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. I feel like I'm on a Telemundo commercial or something. No. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm trusting that.
Here's the thing. We're going to go in and out of Spanish all the time.
That's okay.
Because our little brains function that way. Okay. But I promise you, we always come back.
Bring it back to me.
We always bring it back. We always bring it back.
Who's my translator?
She's
my translator.
I'll be your translator.
There you go. She's going to be asking you a lot of questions today. Remember, she's still singing and she's still performing, and she knows a lot about. I know she already studied about the program that you run, and man, we're super excited to have you here.
Oh man, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you guys for having me, and I'm ready to go. Let's get it. Boom. Pop, pop,
so
pop,
actually, before we start talking about your program, I would love for you to tell our listeners how you got your start in music. Let them know, because I was reading your bio, that you are a Miamian. You were born and raised here, which is fantastic. Tell us a little bit about your formative years and the things that led to inspire you to later create a music therapy program.
Oh man, I'm so glad you asked. I was born to help people using music. That's why I'm here on earth. Ever since I could remember, I've been around music. My grandmother was a pastor, and so ever since I could remember, I've been around great music. So I grew up in the church because my mom, she had some issues. My dad, he had some issues. So I ended up staying with my grandmother, and I ended up being a PK, a preacher's kid. So I got my first taste of music from the church. I learned how to play drums. I did my first solo in church, and ever since then I had the bug. So later on, I started school. I got into sports, so I was juggling sports and music and sports. So finally, I realized that music was something that I wanted to do. Going back to my grandmother, she got me my first piano lesson, and I didn't stop music since. I ended up going to high school at the fabulous Miami Central High School. Yay!
I told you I'm not holding that against you. We're good though. We're good though.
So I took choir there, and I got some formal training there, and then I ended up at Miami-Dade College, North Campus. That's where I really found my way into understanding music and structure of music and theory and all that good stuff. So I took a few years there, and I graduated. I ended up at the University of Miami. I did the jazz program, which was beautiful. It gave me a lot of experience and taught me how to carry myself.
And I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm telling you, when you say, oh, I went through the jazz program, that puts you like at a very, very high bracket. That's a very difficult program to get into, and not everyone can say that. So congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you so much. I was blessed to get into the program, but it was all a part of my story. Is all how I evolved, and I thank God for the teachers there that was very patient with me, and I graduated, and I was trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do? I'm a singer, but okay, what's next? So, I did like most students did. I got a job teaching for 3 years.
Okay.
And I hated it.
You mean the kids that wanted to kill you or something like that? The story that you said,
yes,
the kids wanted to kill you.
Well, I ended up at a good school, but the structure wasn't the best. So So it taught me how to survive. It taught me how to be focused and kind of channel in on what I really want to do. Because those kids will they will let you know if you're good or bad. So they actually love me. So, but I didn't stay in teaching for too long because I prayed to God, if you get me out of this teaching job, God, I will be a good man.
I promise you, God.
I promise you. So yes, he did. After the third year, the school ended up closing down for whatever reason, and so I was like, God, what am I to do now? So after I started my unemployment, and I got a few checks, I was led into the music therapy profession.
Okay.
It kind of happened just by osmosis. A friend of mine asked me to come and kind of audition for this position. That's pretty much what it was, because I had to sing and play and interact with the clients there, you know, because it was a mental health facility.
Okay.
So, so I got there, and I've been there now for 15 years.
Wow.
Wow, what a
doing
blessing.
music therapy, helping people.
Before we continue, we want to hear all the details on the program, but I am. Where were you born? You were born here in Miami?
I was born here in 305, yes.
There you go. What area were you born in? What area did you live in with your grandmother?
Well, I lived in Miami, right off 95th Street.
Okay.
And 17th Avenue.
All right.
So, but I also lived with my other grandma, who was in the projects.
Okay.
In Liberty City.
Right.
Called the Pork and Beans.
I know the Pork and Beans. Trust me.
Yeah.
Remember, I was a cop for 30 years.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I did a lot of stuff in Pork and Beans.
Yeah.
And Lincoln Fields, Brownsville, and that whole area there. But here, the reason I went there is because one of the reasons that I wanted to bring Al here is because Al is a spectacular performer and an amazing human being. Anybody that hangs out with him, you're gonna have a good time. We're gonna party. You never see Al out of control. Al is an extreme professional. I think he's a very, very good artist. But the most important thing is, we have a man here who lived with a grandmother, correct?
Yes.
Pretty much raised by the grandparents, all right? And he said it himself. He lived in the area of Pork and Beans, which is projects. Yeah. 17th Avenue, 95th Street. You got some hot spots in those areas, okay?
Yeah.
Why didn't Al, okay? And when we come back from a quick break, you're going to tell us how it is that you stayed out of trouble and you're the man that you are today. Okay. Because that is the biggest lesson that we can go ahead and prove to all these kids that are out there that you do not have to go and take the left side of that lane, take the right side, and you'll always be successful like this man right here. Yeah. Let's take a quick break, and when we get back, Al's going to tell us.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is I'll Call You Back, True Blue Unedited with President Sir,
Izzy Martinez,
and Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio.
111, 110.
Mi mujer no se levanta de la cama sin 2 cafés, hechos por mí, por supuesto. Le pregunté cuál es de la casa el mejor café y me dijo, sinceramente, Cachita. Pruébenlo. Y después me dice, salud, con Cachita.
No hay ropa bonita aquí. Señor, me hace el favor.
Dígame. Tony Conté.
¡Alejo!
Tú en una tienda de ropa de mujeres.
Bueno, porque estoy comprándole a una dama para hacerle un regalo.
Ay, qué casualidad. Yo también estoy tratando de comprarle a una dama para ver si me dice que sí, porque cuando hay ropa buena no hay quien se resista a decirte que no.
Bueno, pues tú sabes que yo nunca me imaginé que aquí en el medio de default me iba a encontrar con Alejo.
No es default, es hollarse.
Hollarse está en default.
Usted me desfolca, pero es hollar. ¡Oh, ya sé! ¡En default!
¿En default?
¿De verdad que sí?
¿Hollarse?
En default.
Señorita, ¿usted me ayuda?
Te ayuda a lo que está más perdido. Hollarse. No hay más nada.
¡Ay! ¿Y eso qué fue? ¡Ay, me dieron por detrás! ¡Ay, no, espérate un momento! Me voy a ver ahora. ¡Ay! ¡Ay, qué mala suerte! ¡Ay! ¿Y yo dónde estoy? ¿Esto es el paraíso?
No, estás en Your Care Health Network.
Avanza con el pie derecho con Your Care Health Network.
Aquí no le cambiamos su suerte, pero resolvemos todos los problemas de su accidente.
Accidentado, recompensado.
La martelo aquí.
¡Ey!
¡Ay, qué sorpresa!
Y me sorprendiste tú a mí porque yo estaba buscando un regalo para ti, ya que me dijiste que te gustaban mucho las pipas.
Sí,
adivina cuál te quiero regalar.
¿Cuál me quieres
El
regalar?
del pollito.
¡Oh, qué tierno!
Le quiero regalar el del pollito. Porque se parece a él. Mírale el piquito.
¡Oh, qué chulo!
Como ese piquito que tienes ahí.
Señor, esta es la tienda donde compran los artistas, los deportistas y tú que eres VIP también. Fog Nation. ¿Lo digo?
Con G. Fog.
Ahí está. Mira la careta esa. Uy.
Esas son para ahorita, para la cuarentena, para la pandemia. ¿Quieres una? ¿Quieres ponerte una?
Me vendría bien esa cara. Mira, ve, empezó
Con
a
esa
tirarme.
cara le vendría bien una de esas. Él mismo lo dijo. Él mismo lo dijo.
Este es mi Rolex. Y aquí en Grimán Joyería le subimos el precio a tu Rolex con un bisel de brillantes.
Le estamos enseñando los 3 biseles diferentes, biseles de $7,000, $3,000 y $2,500 con la esfera de diamante, que ya cuando tú sumas todo eso más el reloj, estamos hablando ya casi $29,000. Por ejemplo, este mismo reloj puede costar ahora mismo, vamos a decir, $7,500. Si le ponemos un bisel como este que tenemos aquí en mis manos, estamos hablando ya de $11,500. Esto es un reloj 36 milímetros, si le ponemos este bisel ya estamos hablando 40 milímetros.
Wow. Grimán Joyería. Lo demás es bobería.
Ay, Dayami, si yo te estaba buscando en mi vida. Me dijeron que tú eres la mejor para cotizarme un seguro para mi carro.
Claro que sí, aquí en Diamond Insurance te vamos a hacer una cotización que se ajuste a tu bolsillo y a tus necesidades de seguro.
Ay, mi vida, y con lo caro que están los seguros en la Florida.
Han subido, pero un poquito, pero no te preocupes, nosotros aquí tenemos muchos años trabajando todo el estado con muchas compañías.
Ay, eso es lo que yo necesito. ¿Y qué tengo que hacer? ¿Cómo compro mi póliza?
Nada, con una simple llamada, un mensaje de texto, un email, cotizamos tu póliza completamente gratis y en minutos, porque somos la manera más fácil para asegurarte.
Dayami, aquí, entre tú y yo. ¿Tú sí me vas a contestar?
Claro que sí, nosotros siempre contestamos.
Ay, ¿verdad que un diamante es un diamante? Con Diamond Insurance me siento asegurado.
Segura que sí.
Una flor en la ocasión especial puede hacer la diferencia.
Bueno, cuando las personas vienen a una floristería tienen múltiples opciones para una persona que está en un hospital, para una persona que ha fallecido, conquistar a una mujer, disculparnos.
Si usted se quiere disculpar porque metió la pata la semana pasada, venga aquí a Cerezo Flower. Ya sabes, 1721 Southwest, 32 Avenida, marca el teléfono 786-326-4412. Haz la diferencia con la persona que tú amas. Una flor.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is I'll Call You Back, True Blue Unedited with President Sir.
Izzy Martinez.
And Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio. We also want to invite you guys to call in. The phone number is 786-753-7870. Again, 786-753-7870. If you'd like to call in and speak with Isidoro, Izzy, with Isidoro, el bombón de la radio, Mario García.
Ah, yo creo que era. I thought el bombón era yo hoy.
Una mierda esto.
No, porque sabes que
Mr. Alvin Snow, Alvin Stone.
Alvin, wait a minute. You're getting all the names confused. What the hell is going on here?
You just called me. You just told me that you were a bombón, and I wasn't ready for that.
Al Stone
so
Music
we call. Let me
Therapy.
tell you, Al. We call Magari the bonbon.
That's
of
like
the
a
radio.
chocolate kiss.
El chocolate.
A chocolate kiss. Entonces now Isidoro said, "Oh, but you're calling me the bonbon," and that just like threw me off.
Well,
what can I say?
'cause I have a fan club.
Okay.
Right?
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
You're easy.
He has
I
a
am
fan-
easy like Sunday morning.
Easy
So,
like Sunday
anyways,
morning.
Oh, my Lord.
and I
Oh,
have,
my Lord.
so they call me El Bombón también. So, gotta.
Oh, so you're the real bonbon.
That's all I gotta say.
That's it.
Oh my
Period.
Lord! Here we are
Us
thinking.
guys have to stick together, baby.
That's right.
Oh my God!
That's right.
All right,
Anyways,
Mr. Stone, we were talking about your childhood growing up, the area you grew up, which I know very, very well. That's a good area. But Izzy had an interesting question for you before we continue talking about your experience with this whole music therapy and with folks with mental health and how that's been a positive thing in your life and in their lives.
Yes.
yeah, but why not? Why not? Why did you choose to take the right road instead of the left road? In other words, why did you choose not to get in trouble? Why that? Was it something in the family? Was it your grandmother? Was it the way that you were brought up? I personally, every time that I was going to do some knucklehead thing when I was young, I would think, why would I do this? What is it going to do to my parents?
Mm.
In your case, your grandmother.
Right.
Maybe it was that. And that's what we wanted to know. How did you end up? Because a lot of people say if you live in the projects, which is not true, not true at all, you're going to end up on the wrong side of the law, and that is not true. That is an assumption. That is not true at all. Most of the people that live in projects are people that are good people that are stuck in those areas because of financial situations, and they cannot get out, but they're good people. It's a minority of people that hang out there and sometimes don't even live in those areas, and they go there to start trouble.
Yeah.
Got the mic. Talk to me. That's very important for our youth that's out there getting shot and killed every day, and not only in Liberty City, but all over Miami-Dade County.
Well, do you want a commercial answer, or do you want the real?
No. There's no commercial here. Remember, we are straight as an arrow here.
Okay.
We want the truth, nothing but the truth.
Okay. Well, I think it was all of the above. I think it was a little bit of grandmother. I think it was a little bit of, the fear of disappointing my family. But I think it was also music. Music. It played a big part in my life. Music saved my life. Music. Therapy has, it not only worked for me and for my clients, but it also it worked for my whole family. It brought us together. Without music therapy, I think I would have slipped through the cracks. There was a lot of instances where I did the wrong thing, but I had people that kind of, they
pat you on the butt.
Yeah,
I got you.
And they saved me, So I just thank God for family, for friends, and for a second chance.
And church.
And church as well, and the prayers of the righteous, because I needed those prayers. I still need them right now, but then I really needed them because it was just so much trouble around me. I had friends that was doing drugs, that was selling drugs, that was murderers, that was doing a lot of negative stuff, but because of my family, God, and one more element, the Boys Club.
Oh, there you go.
Boys
See,
Club, the Northwest Boys Club was a big part of my life. Those mentors, those male mentors, they really got to me, and they really talked to me, and they showed me that it wasn't just about sports, it wasn't just about music, but it was about character, it was about doing the right thing, and it was about living long enough so that you could help someone else. So
there you go.
So I'm big up to all of my coaches throughout my life, as Little League all the way up to high school. Big up to all of my teachers that was patient with me, that gave me a second chance after I did something estúpido.
Sí, dice que él hizo algo estúpido cuando era joven y que tuvo personas que lo guiaron por la vía correcta, y por eso él está aquí, y por eso él nunca tuvo ese tipo de problema de reunirse con gente que estaban vendiendo droga o matando, asaltando y haciendo todas esas cosas en ¿cómo se llama esto? En los barrios donde él vivía.
Oh, it's I come from the same neighborhood, pretty much, just a few blocks up.
Of course.
And I understand the whole stereotype that's easy to fall in, you know, because if you're the child of immigrants who don't speak the language, who came here with nothing, and who were just struggling, you know, to provide a roof for their kids, and you grow up in the hood, you know, you're supposed to be, you know, a pregnant teenager. You're not supposed to graduate from high school. You're not supposed to do any of those things. Just normally, because that's what people say. Oh, if you live in that neighborhood,
that's it.
That's what's going to happen. So I completely understand where you're coming from. I was blessed where I was very, very close to my dad, and a lot of folks, let me tell you, a lot of folks criticized him because when I was 13, I decided, my dad was a bass player. I said, hey, I want to work with your band. And so my dad said, all right, cool. So my dad started taking me to clubs, started putting me in situations where there were adult things going on, you know, and everyone criticized him for that. But I think, honestly, it was one of the best things that I was exposed to that, because he really opened my eyes. And my dad would stand next to me. He'd be like, yo, that's the hoe, that's the pimp. This one's pushing this one's pushing that. You know, you have to be alert. You have to be alert. You know, don't fall into this pattern. And also, I wasn't in like the YMCA or none of that, but I was I went to the Cultural Arts Center, the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center on 62nd and 22nd. And that Cultural Arts Center, man, let me tell you, when you got out of school and you had a few hours, it was just, I still to this day, I am in touch. And it's funny, I'm in touch with my teachers. I went to Lily C. Right? First I went to Broadmoor. Then I went to Lily C. I went to South Miami for 1 year. That didn't work out. And then I went back to Drew. It didn't work out.
Well, that's
there were 3 other Jenny Lopeses.
School.
There were 3 other Jenny Lopeses in that school, and they were all like horrible. I was a good student.
No, because you were probably causing problems there. That's why.
I was not causing no
See
problem.
What I mean?
They were the ones
That's
that were
exactly what she was doing in high school.
They were the
That's
ones.
what happened.
See what happens, Al?
They were the ones that were. They were the ones that were causing those problems. So anyway,
right.
I said, you know what? I'm gonna go back to the hood. My parents were like, for real? I go, yeah. Send me to Drew. I went to Drew. And then I made it. I auditioned for New World, Northwestern, and South Miami. I made it into all 3.
Awesome.
But Northwestern had at the time this choir director, Columbus Smith, and this guy was the real deal. And I said, after I spoke with the teachers and stuff, and I played violin, so I sang pretty well, you know. And they were like, hey, if you sight read and you can, you know, it was easy for me to get into the programs. And when I saw Columbus, I was like, this is the guy. This is the guy that's going to be my
mentor,
yeah. And let me tell you, those programs are really, really important, man. And folks don't know how important. A lot of times, it's something that really upsets me when I see the school board, when I see government pulling funding from sports, from arts programs. I think it's one of the most detrimental things that can happen, because music and sports give you discipline.
Yes.
They give, I mean, it just transforms your mind, man. And your way of being, and it just keeps you out. It might get you into some trouble, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's actually a lot better than I feel it is negative.
Yeah, I think it's I'll cut you off, but I think it's so important that these communities, they find funds to help out these small businesses and like the Boys Club and the
absolutely
Girl Scout and the Boy Scout and all that stuff like that, and programs like my program, which is A-Stone School of Music, which is in Liberty City. I came back to my community to help my.
Talk to us about your program.
Yes, so
you know, there's a reason why you're here, right?
I thought it was just because I sang.
That was part of it.
That was one of the reasons.
But I'm going to let you know a little bit later the reason why I asked you to be on this program.
Okay.
And I think you're going to be very excited. I would. Okay. And it's going to be I think it's going to be a great project.
Okay.
So talk to us about that program.
Oh, well, man, I'm so excited about the program. It was something that has been sitting in my spirit for years and years and years. God has been telling me to push forward and start this program, which is to help inner city kids special needs kids and the citizens of my community where I was raised at. So for years and years and years, I was scared. I always came up with an excuse. I don't have a location. I don't have the funds. Who's going to help me? And then one day, my mom told me, she say, Alvin A. Stone, whenever you're ready to start the school, you can use the church, because I tell you that my grandmother was my pastor. Well, she passed away, and my mom became the pastor. So she knew about this dream of mine, this goal that I wanted to meet, and so she actually opened up a space in the back of the church for me to get started. So I started. I bought some keyboards and I bought some mics, and I started teaching students. First, we started off with 2 and 3 and 5 and 10, and now it's growing. But what was so special about it was we not only had inner city kids, but we had special needs kids that love music, that changed their lives from just being in a chair, medicated, to now being social misfits. They are just like off the chain, man. They changed their lives. So anyway, so it's been about 2 years now, and the school has just been taking off. Unfortunately, the COVID hit and changed everything. Yeah. So, but we're just looking for, the right funding, the right situation, so that we can get our own building. Because God showed me a vision that I was going to have this building, and I was going to have a studio in there, and I was going to have a music therapy room. I was going to have a studio workshop area. So I'm just so excited about what's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm just excited about it happening. So the school is a platform for anybody that wants to take lessons, wants to sing, that wants to get involved with music therapy. We are here to assist those kids, those citizens, or whoever wants to be a part of it.
That's awesome. That is such a beautiful vision, and and a project. And I congratulate you for coming back to your neighborhood and doing that, because a lot of folks, when they acquire a certain level of comfort, they kind of forget where they come from, and I think it's very, very important that we always go back and implement the same things that were taught to us to the new generations, and the new kids that are coming up, and that kid that perhaps music is. I'm a big supporter, not just because I'm a singer, but I really do feel that music makes a very positive impact in people's lives. And I'm a very big supporter of programs like that, and of anything really that is a positive change or a positive influence in a kid's life.
Of course.
And unfortunately, like I said, the government, has really decided to defund a lot of these programs that are imperative for our society's success and for the future generations.
Right.
So it's really, up to us to go in there and be like, hey, we have to make a difference. We can't just stand by.
The problem is that everybody has a solution.
All right.
And everybody's got, and they said they have well intentions, right? Good intentions. But the bottom line is everybody's looking out to make a buck.
Yeah.
And yes, you can have a company and you can make a buck. But here's the thing. If you come in not making a buck, but you have that in heart, in your heart to make good for the community, especially the young kids in the community, then you'll be fine. The program, whatever it is that we're going to do, it's going to work. But, we're trying to do something now, and hopefully you'll be part of it, and we're super excited about it.
Oh my
super.
Goodness. Yeah.
And we have we have a friend in common.
Okay.
Isaac Klein.
Yes.
So Isaac came in with a few friends, a couple of friends, and that's Pastor Reese and Disciple Kemp, and we're gonna start getting together, and we're gonna start to come up with some type of system, because you cannot tell me that within one area there are so many churches, so many religious people, that yet there's so much violence. And one of the reasons is, and this is just my opinion, is that so many of the churches are just working independently on this problem. Everybody's got to work together. It don't matter if you're Catholic. It don't matter if you're Christian. It don't matter if you're Protestant or whatever it is that you come from. Everybody's got to work together. And you know, the bottom line is, it's not a competition of religion. No. It's not. It's a competition of making your place much better. Your home, it's got to improve.
Listen, we all are God's children, and I believe that He wants us to work together. He put us here for a reason.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. You know, He don't want us to be alone. You know, He want us to link up and click up and change lives. You know, without the synergy of the Boys Club, I don't know where I would be at right now. Because there was a time when my mom, who's not my pastor, she was on drugs. My dad was selling drugs, and I was kind of like caught in the middle of it. You know, I don't blame them now because you know, back in the '80s, hey, it was what it was. But without community platforms like the Northwest Boys Club, a lot of kids would have not made it. So I think that now that it's my turn to give back, that's what I want to do. If I could change one life,
one kid, man.
Yeah,
it's more than worth it.
It'd be worth it. It totally would be worth it. And I think that music is a tool. Is one of those tools that everybody can grasp. You know, I mean, you're gonna like somebody. You're gonna like rapping. You're gonna like singing. You're gonna like Mark Anthony, who was just playing. You're gonna like somebody. So, music therapy is a tool that can be used to heal the world, one person at a time.
Do you continue working for that mental health institution, also doing music therapy, or are you doing this? You do?
Yes. Yeah, I'm still doing that full time. I'm still doing my record label that I have. I'm also an artist on that label, Mr. A Stump. But that's not what we're talking about right now. But
I want to talk about that later.
Yeah, that's a good one though.
Yeah, but but it's something that I'm just kind of balancing right now. You know, hopefully I can make a transition, you know, from that full-time job to just being full-time with my school. So.
And the time that you've been there doing the music therapy at the mental health center, what are like the age ranges of your patients?
The age range, it probably starts from about I would say about 21 to about about 60 something. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a huge
demographic. Yeah.
That's a huge demographic.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I've been blessed to just see how music affects people like instantaneously. I mean, I've seen music just change people. Somebody that's going through pain, somebody that has a speech issue, somebody that has social and coping skill issues. Music is just so powerful. It soothes it soothes the savage beast, and it's been around since day one. Since David in the Bible, he helped King Saul when he was going through depression. So music therapy is something that's been around for years. So we just finding a way to kind of like introduce it to this new generation. So
absolutely.
So I'm excited about it.
This new generation is the one that's that needs a lot of help.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited.
Let's take a quick break, and when we get back, we're gonna have much more of Mr. Al Stone.
Gia.
Yeah.
111, 110. Belligerent and hostile.
Miami se despierta con una coladita y yo con mi café Cachita. Es mejor para compartir mi vida. Qué bueno es todo, qué malo es nada. Por eso yo prefiero café Cachita.
No hay ropa bonita aquí. Señor, me hace el favor. Me hace el favor, por
Dígame. Tony Conté.
¡Alejo!
¡Tú en una tienda de ropa de mujeres!
Bueno, porque estoy comprándole a una dama para hacerle un regalo.
Ay, qué casualidad. Yo también estoy tratando de comprarle a una dama para ver si me dice que sí, porque cuando hay ropa buena no hay que se resista a decirte que no.
Bueno, pues tú sabes que yo nunca me imaginé que aquí en el medio de default me iba a encontrar con Alejo.
No es default, es hollarse.
Hollarse está en default.
Usted me desfolca, pero es hollar. ¡Oh, ya sé! ¡En default!
¿En default?
¿De verdad que sí?
¿Hollarse?
En default.
Señorita, ¿usted me ayuda?
Te ayuda a lo que está más perdido. Hollarse. No hay más nada.
¡Ay! ¿Y eso qué fue? ¡Ay, me dieron por detrás! ¡Ay, no! Espérate un momento. Me voy a ver ahora. ¡Ay! ¡Ay, qué mala suerte! ¡Ay! ¿Y yo dónde estoy? ¿Esto es el paraíso?
No, estás en Your Care Health Network.
Avanza con el pie derecho con Your Care Health Network.
Aquí no le cambiamos su suerte, pero resolvemos todos los problemas de su accidente.
Accidentado, recompensado.
La martelo aquí.
¡Ey!
¡Ay, qué sorpresa!
Y me sorprendiste tú a mí porque yo estaba buscando un regalo para ti, ya que me dijiste que te gustaban mucho las pipas.
Sí,
Adivina cuál te quiero regalar.
¿Cuál me quieres regalar?
El del pollito.
Oh, qué tierno.
Le quiero regalar el del pollito. Porque se parece a él. Mírale el piquito.
Oh, qué chulo.
Como ese piquito que tienes ahí.
Señor, esta es la tienda donde compran los artistas, los deportistas y tú que eres VIP también. Fog Nation.
Con G. Fog.
Ahí está. Mira la careta esa. Uy.
Esas son para ahorita, para la cuarentena, para la pandemia. ¿Quieres una? ¿Quieres ponerte una?
Me vendría bien esa cara. Mira, ve, ya empezó
Con
a
esa
tirarme.
cara le vendría bien una de esas. Él mismo lo dijo. Él mismo lo dijo.
Este es mi Rolex. Y aquí en Grimán Joyería le subimos el precio a tu Rolex con un bisel de brillantes.
Aquí le estamos enseñando los tres biseles diferentes, biseles de 7,000, 3,000 y 2,500 dólares, con la esfera de diamante, que ya cuando tú sumas todo eso más el reloj, estamos hablando ya casi 29,000 dólares. Por ejemplo, este mismo reloj puede costar ahora mismo, vamos a decir, 7,500 dólares. Si le ponemos un bisel como este que tenemos aquí en mis manos, estamos hablando ya de 11,500 dólares. Esto es un reloj 36 milímetros, si le ponemos este bisel ya estamos hablando de 40 milímetros.
Wow. Grimán Joyería. Lo demás es bobería.
Ay, Dayami, yo te estaba buscando en mi vida. Me dijeron que tú eres la mejor para cotizarme un seguro para mi carro.
Claro que sí, aquí en Diamond Insurance te vamos a hacer una cotización que se ajuste a tu bolsillo y a tus necesidades de seguro.
Ay, mi vida, y con lo caro que están los seguros en la Florida.
Han subido, pero un poquito, pero no te preocupes, nosotros aquí tenemos muchos años trabajando todo el estado con muchas compañías.
Ay, eso es lo que yo necesito. ¿Y qué tengo que hacer? ¿Cómo compro mi póliza?
Nada, con una simple llamada, un mensaje de texto, un email, cotizamos tu póliza completamente gratis y en minutos, porque somos la manera más fácil para asegurarte.
Dayami, aquí, entre tú y yo. ¿Tú sí me vas a contestar?
Claro que sí, nosotros siempre contestamos.
Ay, ¿verdad que un diamante es un diamante? Con Diamond Insurance me siento asegurado.
Segura que sí.
Una flor en la ocasión especial puede hacer la diferencia.
Bueno, cuando las personas vienen a una floristería, tienen múltiples opciones para una persona que está en un hospital, para una persona que ha fallecido, conquistar a una mujer, disculparnos.
Si usted se quiere disculpar porque metió la pata la semana pasada, venga aquí a Cerezo Flower. Ya sabes, 1721 Southwest, 32 Avenida, marca el teléfono 786-326-4412. Haz la diferencia con la persona que tú amas. una flor.
Mi mujer no se levanta de la cama sin 2 cafés, hecho por mí, por supuesto. Le pregunté, ¿cuál es de la casa el mejor café? Y me dijo, sinceramente, Cachita. Pruébenlo. Y después me dice, salud, con Cachita.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is I'll Call You Back, True Blue Unedited with President Sir
Izzy Martinez
and Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio. Izzy, can you believe we've already been here for an hour and a half today? This is our last segment before we go home.
It's flying. Time flies when you're having fun, right, Al?
With A-Stone, baby.
A-Stone in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me tell you something. This guy can sing. He can sing. Not only sing.
No, stop.
He can perform.
No, he doesn't sing. He sangs. There's a difference between, hey, that guy sings well, to that boy can sing.
Well, coming from Chiquita,
Yeah.
it's a compliment, though.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yes.
So tell us about your latest music project. I know you got 800 things going on at the same time.
Yes.
You have your career in music therapy. You have your academy going on as well. You got your record label. Tell us about that. You got your projects. Tell us about, everything you got going on.
Do you really want to know?
I want to know.
Oh, we really want to know.
Okay. So I just finished my my new EP. It's called Sexy from Miami.
All right now.
And so basically what it is just me just giving back to where I came from. I just feel like I'm in a full circle era inside my life. So this project was very special because I kind of went left from my normal acoustic piano, John Legend, Stevie Wonder vibe, and I kind of went into like a party vibe, and it's basically just a EP that encompasses just the island vibe of Miami, just the melting pot that we have here, R&B, Latin vibe. It just has everything in there.
Oh yeah.
So I kind of went away from everything, and so I'm very excited about the new single that we're getting ready to release. It's called Just Like That, and it's kind of like a split between it's kind of R&B-ish, but it kind of has like a Latin backbeat to it.
Okay.
And so I'm excited about sharing that. I'm excited about just giving the people something new, because right now it's all about the evolution of A-Stone and just getting out something that people never heard. So I'm excited, and it's called Just Like That.
Excited to hear that, man.
Yeah.
As soon as you have that video, we're so excited.
That's one thing he can do. He can sing anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
He just goes and sings and goes up in the elevator and he sings and goes up the stairs and he sings.
Yeah.
Well, listen. We have another one here in the room, Cachita. Cachita has a hell of a voice.
My goodness.
Huh?
She can't shut.
You see her sing that Ella song the other night?
Shut down. I was like, wow.
Nah.
She ain't singing. She is
Singing.
Angin'.
Yeah, she's very good.
So definitely, I'm dedicating this new project, "Sexy from Miami," to Chiquita, because she definitely represents what this album is all about, and hopefully the people grasp it and understand that it's not just one part of me. I have lots of different elements of A-Stone. So.
That's one of the things I love most about really following artists is seeing their evolution, because you have a lot of artists that you get pigeonholed into this is who you are because this is the way that either the audience first met you, or that's where they feel that's the bubble, the box that you fit in.
Right.
But in reality, just like any other person, we all go through like a plethora of emotions, and especially being from South Florida, we are a melting pot of cultures, of music, of styles. And I don't care how hard you try to remain pure to one thing.
Correct.
Those influences are going to affect you because it's part of your daily life.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
You know, I was on tour with a Dominican artist down in the islands, and I met this amazing Haitian band, like this compa band, and I was like, I gotta get some of this in my life. Like, I need to do something like this, and that's one thing that we've been talking about, for I want to say maybe 6 or 7 months, about doing. There was a band called Karimi years ago, and they sang in Creole, English, and Spanish. But since that band broke off,
right,
they haven't had anyone do that. I said, bro, let's do like a joint venture. Feature me on something. I'll do like a verse in Spanish. You guys sing in Creole. I think that would be super cool. So the fact that you're going from an acoustic, as a lot of folks see you doing, more like an acoustic type vibe, more of a soul type vibe, to do something more of a party vibe. I think that's great because that's really who we are.
Right. Yeah.
Right. We're not just one shade. I mean,
I don't wake up every day wanting to sing jazz. There are days I want to sing salsa. There are days I want to sing blues. There's days that I'm in like my rock mode or in my whatever, because I like to, I get down to anything.
That's exactly how I am.
And just like that, just like that, yeah. Just like that.
Just like that.
I don't wake up every day wanting to eat a burger. Sometimes I want some grill.
Yes, sir.
I want some beans and rice and some boil.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's just, and being an indie artist, that's what's so great about being an indie artist. You're not stuck.
You have that freedom.
In just one lane. You have the freedom to step out and try some new things. So. Big up to all the indie artists. Poop, 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 poop. Keep on doing your thing, man. Let's change this whole industry. I mean, because it's just been so tight. Now we have a chance to spread our wings and just fly as high as we want to.
Absolutely.
As long as you have followers and fans, you're good.
That's it.
And that's a different talk show. So
yeah, that is a completely different talk show. I recently started, because I'm pretty active on social media, but I'm lazy. Just give me a microphone. I just want to sing. I'm past that whole, I want to post 37 pictures a day. I don't have time for that shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just want to sing. Just let me be happy and let me sing. Yeah. But unfortunately, we have to, worry about social media because it is such an important role in the artist's life.
Of course.
So I decided, I'm going to try something. I had a video. I was honored to perform for Latin Songwriters Hall of Fame a few years back, and I did a tribute to like a really famous Cuban artist. It's like a 40-piece orchestra. I mean, it was like
amazing. It's on
what
YouTube.
An experience.
You got to see this.
Al, let me tell you, man.
Yeah.
I've performed at much bigger stages. I toured with a lot of folks. So, I mean, I've had some really, really cool experiences. I'm super grateful for that. But this was the first time that a little me as a solo artist was being accompanied by, a freaking orchestra, man. Yeah. And I come from a classical background. So I know how classical musicians can be and how snooty they can be. Yeah, man. So for a minute, I'm not going to say I was nervous. I was more anxious, and when I got to that rehearsal and I looked over and I knew the bass player and I had toured with like the percussionist and I had done some recordings with the guitar player. I was like, ooh. Yeah. And I knew two of the horn players. I was like, boom. Yeah. My people, it's only 5 of them. And there's like another 35 that I don't know. But I know that my rhythm section right now, I'm good.
You're good. You're going to be on point.
I'm good. I'm going to be good. Yeah. And that aired on PBS. It was like a big to-do. And a couple weeks ago, the awards company actually reposted it on their Instagram.
Oh, man.
And I said, wow, this is awesome. So I decided to share it. And I have a friend of mine that she's like a social media personality, whatever. And a social media influencer. She's like, you should do this, or whatever. And, you'll have people try to scam you. Because if you're an independent artist, for some reason, these people think that either we're really, really stupid or we're just like loaded with money.
Right.
They just they have this notion, you know. And I had this company reach out to me and they're like, yo, you know, we can sell you this site that already has like 40,000 followers and all this other stuff. And I go, but what's the demographic? Because I know the style of music that I'm doing. I know this is not going to appeal to a 15-year-old.
Sure.
Right.
In Mexico.
Right.
It should, because, you know,
But
music nowadays.
But it's not going to fly.
Ugh.
So, you know, I said.
Not music, talent.
I spoke with my friend and she goes, look, I'm going to give you the best advice I can give you right now. She goes, promote the video, sponsor the video for a few days just to see what happens. But let's study the demographic that will most probably listen to you. Exactly. So we targeted the audience to people that listen to jazz music, people that listen to Cuban music, people that listen, you know, we set little parameters. And then we also set certain countries. Like, you don't want to go worldwide because they're not going to be listening to this in Lebanon. You know?
Correct.
But, you know, maybe
not,
she's like, well, maybe Mexico, maybe Venezuela, that has a very big influence of Cuban culture musically. You know, she goes, you want to check Europe. There are a couple countries in Europe that, you know, really like Cuban music. You know, and I said, you know what? I'm going to try it out for shits and giggles. The video got 36,000 views in 4 days.
That's awesome.
And I had an increase of followers. I had about 200 new followers that's based on content. So that means that they're organic followers. It's not followers that you're buying. They're following you because they like your content.
Yeah, they want to be there.
Which that's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and a lot of folks don't know how to do that, and
that's not easy. That's not easy.
It's not easy, you know.
You really have to know what you're doing. I mean, reading those analytics, setting up the demographics the right way, targeting the right people, your proposed target audience.
Independent artists, we are the label.
Yeah.
We're doing what, you know, those marketing teams would do, what A&R would do, you know, you know, selecting the music. We're doing bookings. It's there's a lot that goes on for us to be able to go up there and release an EP.
Right.
There's a lot involved in that.
Oh,
and folks think that it's just, because you're a singer, you just get up there and sing. No, there's a lot of preparation that goes behind this, man.
People
people have that notion, though.
That artists are not aware, and they just drop music just because they just finished it. But you don't have no idea what you need to do before you drop that single.
Let me tell you, I released an album last year because I already had the release date prepared. I had everything prepared. I released it a week after the COVID closures. This is an album that everyone who's listened to it has said, this needs to be submitted to the Grammys. It's produced very, very well. The arrangements are spectacular. All live musicians. It was an album of like boleros that I recorded for my dad, who was ill at the time, in memory of my grandmother. They were all songs that either my grandmother sang with my dad, that I sang with my dad, or that we all three sung together. There's only one song that I recorded for me on the album, right? And I got some of the best musicians in Miami that knew my dad. I said, look, I want to give this to my dad. He's ill. I want to surprise him on his birthday with this album. So I think the album came out so good because it was never our intention to release the album. It was never our intention to try to do anything with the album. It was just a gift. And all the musicians also worked with my dad. You know, so it was a really nice gift. And now I find out that because of COVID restrictions and all this other stuff,
it's going
and
away.
it was already released.
All that stuff is going away.
It was already released. I can't even submit it to Grammys now.
Can you imagine?
Can you believe that?
But all that is going away.
I have to like re-record something or remaster something to be able to qualify to do a new release to see if I can submit it. And the only reason I'm going to go through all that stuff is because literally the only one on the album without a Grammy is me. That's it.
Well,
everyone else has Grammys, and they're all like Academy members, and they've told me like, hey, this album is really, and we did it at home. It wasn't like I had zero budget, Al. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna be like, yo, no. I had like $0.
Yeah, but that's.
I had the idea. I called the piano player, and I was like, bro, 1 a.m. I have this idea for an album to gift it to my dad, and we have to record it in secret. What? Pass by the house tomorrow. Let's go over the songs. So I
Yep.
gave him the songs, the keys. He started the arrangements, and we just literally sent the arrangements to the musicians. Everyone recorded at their house. We sent it to my guitar player, who's my MD, and I sat there with him. I went to school for recording engineering. So
Where'd you go?
well, I started first Miami-Dade, and then I went to FIU, and I studied with Mike Otta for a little while.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when we started working, it was when I started doing the credits, I was like, oh my God, I'm the vocalist on this. I'm one of the producers on this. I'm one of the mixing engineers on this. And I co-mastered the album.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not
What?
bad. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad for
It's
a
all
girl
right.
from 91st and 29th.
It's all right.
What
It's
can
all
I
right.
say?
Hey, it's all right.
What can I say?
You guys should get together and do something together.
Oh, absolutely,
Can you
man.
imagine that? Huh?
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Put a little salsa, put a little soul on the other side, huh?
Salsa
What do you
soul, man, that would be
Salsa
great.
soul.
Listen, I
Well, there
have a
used to be a band
song
called the South Soul Orchestra.
that
I don't
I'm
remember
thinking
if you
about
remember
now.
that.
Hey, okay, yeah.
Huh?
I have a song in mind already.
Well, you
Hey,
know, if
that's
it
man.
happens,
Let's do it, man.
if it happens, I'm cheap. I'll take my cut just for coming up with the idea, and
Of course,
you know what I mean?
Of course.
Because everything
What
is,
happened to
you know,
Al's camera?
everything is. What in the world?
I'm telling you, we have a ghost.
There's a ghost in here. The camera fell.
And we're ragada.
But anyways, yeah, that would be great for you guys to do something, huh?
Isidora, I'm super
¿Qué tú crees?
excited about this panel that you're putting together.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great, and I think it's fantastic that we, that we incorporate people from the neighborhood, people that actually care, that are doing this, not just because of getting a picture or being in front of a camera.
No, I don't need no politicians over there or anywhere with a suit, a tie, and a shovel in their hand just to take a quick picture and then just leave.
Exactly.
Okay, if you're gonna go
Cut the
there,
ribbon,
yeah. That's it, and they're out.
exactly. If you're gonna be there, you want to be there because you want to be there.
All right.
And don't come over and say, well, how much do you pay, and how much is the grant, and how much is this and that, and we're gonna try to do the right thing. Do the right thing with a lot of checks and balances, so there's no misunderstanding and no doubt where the money's going to go.
The paperwork has to be right.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the problem. A lot of these entities
Yeah.
receive, they have great people working for them, and they do the request for the grants. They get awarded the grants, but then there's no auditing. So they use these funds as they see fit.
Misappropriate?
Yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah,
They
you can call-
misappropriate funds.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a program that's supposed to have, let's say, a youth center never gets done because the permits weren't adequate, or they didn't secure the land, or now the land is contaminated,
Right.
or whatever. And the money, woof, it just disappeared, bro.
Let me give you an example. How many times have you heard a politician say, I got so many millions of dollars for the black community, for the Hispanic community, for the Jewish community, whatever it is. How many times have you, and then you sit there, you go, what? Where's the money at? Because nobody saw it.
Right.
Where did it go?
These damn
Where did
traffic
it go?
circles.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I'm going to educate them on is also on small businesses, how these small businesses are not getting their chance via the procurement process in government, trying to get contracts with the county.
All right.
Okay, and why other people get it, and the tricks of the trade. I'm going to go ahead and review all that stuff.
Wow, that's awesome.
Because we have, and within all these churches, you have a lot of professional people. You got attorneys, you have accountants, and you have business owners, small business owners, and they would love to, for example, a guy that does drywall, right? He would love to be, and then somebody's listening now going, well, all they got to do is go through the procurement pro. Yeah, but listen, what happens is very, very simple. You say you do it for $1, somebody will go to their friend and say, by the way, Al says he'll do it for $1, and they come in and they go, we'll do it for 90 cents. and that should be a secret. Nobody should know how what the bids are, so that way it'll be a fair share for everybody. And then what happens is they bring people from the outside to do that work. Now let me ask you this: you don't think somebody's putting money in their pocket?
Of course.
Of course. There you go. See, I like Al. That's why Al and I get along well.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what
I'm actually learning more and more. I mean, being that my company, H-Stone Music Therapy, is a nonprofit, I'm doing a lot of research right now, and I have received a few little small grants, and I'm trying to build up my history as I go now, because they one of the things is they want you to have a history first, so that they can trust you with the money.
Absolutely.
So I'm learning the tricks of the trades, if you will, and so I'm excited about teaming up with other companies that's doing great things.
Awesome.
So that we can meet these goals.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very, very good.
Creo que nos fuimos para la casa.
Calabaza, cada uno para su casa.
Ay, Dios mío.
Huh? What happened?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so very much for tuning in. We want to thank Ace Stone for being here with us, for telling us all about his academy, about his life, and, for being part of that positive change that we need in this community. We want to thank Isidoro Martinez for the great suggestion of bringing Ace Stone. It's fantastic not to just have to see your face every day.
Absolutely. See what I mean? See what I got to put up? See what I got to put up with every day?
We want to thank El Bombón de la Radio for being here with us. We want to thank all of our sponsors, especially Café Cachita, el mejor para compartir. Thank you guys so very much. And we look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Hopefully we'll have Tony in next week to talk about, man, Izzy has this friend that has a program that helps law enforcement and first responders.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, it's open to everybody.
Awesome. That deal with substance abuse problems and depression and stuff like that. So
yeah, suicide and all that.
It's fantastic to be able to have him here with us and to be, let us know what programs he has available for the community as well. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we want to thank you so very much for tuning in. This is I'll Call You Back, True Blue Unedited with President Sir
Izzy Martinez
and Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio.
111, 110.